welcome back to Geek Out SA. It's Friday and we're having fun. And we have a guest this week.
Hello.
We didn't have a guest last week, but we have a guest this week. It's WEBCarlos. It's Carlos. How's it going, Carlos?
It's going good. Hanging in there.
So what's been going on? There's been a lot happening.
I like the way you ask him like you don't see him every Wednesday.
I know. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
What? We never see each other. I don't know what this is.
Friends?
This is.
What? Word wasn't used. But not a whole lot. I've got some things that I'm working on right now. I'm working on a second channel that I'm hoping will be a little more successful than my first because I'm trying to move away from the vlogs. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Now that's news to me. I didn't know you were going to do that.
Well, like not entirely move away from vlogs, but like I'm starting to see that if I'm gonna get a little bit more momentum on YouTube, that I need to be doing something else and vlogs. So.
Because I thought vlogs were kind of popular now.
They're very popular, but they're more so popular in the people who are already doing something. So like when you watch your gamers or your
so it's like you're watching them do something, but then you want to see what their is life when they're not doing that thing.
You want to see like their personal life, but if you kind of start with the personal life, it's like, why should I care?
Right, you know? I get that because they're like, who are you? And
so right now it's just fun for like my friends and family to watch me, but like for people who don't know me, they've got no reason to be invested unless I give them something else.
Well, it's fun because Vincent watches you and then does your little transitions and stuff, so I think that's fun.
I've actually worked on like 3 of those transitions that you did on that one transition video. That was really cool.
The 5 easy ones or whatever.
Yeah.
And then my computer decided to crash hard.
Yeah, so he lost all those videos, and they were kind of cute because it was like kind of like doing a play on what you had done, so it was kind of fun. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cute, and you could like show it, and it was fun.
I mean, I get compliments on like my transitions all the time, but the thing is like they're not very hard. A lot of what I do is just kind of studying other YouTubers and seeing what they do, and if they put their hand over the camera or if they flap something in front of the camera, it's like, all right, we'll do that and just cut it super quickly.
Yeah.
So, but no, transitions are fun. Like,
once
you get creative.
If you don't know how to do it, and that because I don't really research that to do that, but I saw you do it, so I was like, that's really cool. And since then, I've looked at other things, but it all comes back to like the basics of it, in which you covered in there.
I guess it comes back to like that saying, like, it's easy when you know how, kind of thing. Just that's true. It's a lot of in edit stuff too. I think a lot more than you would think as well, because it's not as simple as putting down the camera, turning it off, putting it over here, turning it back on. You've got to be in editing, kind of timing it just right, because you could do a snap transition, but if you don't get it on that half second of where the snap begins and then don't let the snap finish, then you ruin the whole thing. But I mean, that's if you're being that nitpicky about it. Most people will just, do it and then go with it. So.
Well, I like that I know about it now, because then I can tell my students, because I think the younger generation, they still don't quite get it, like what goes into being a YouTuber, because that's the new job that kids want now, right? They want to be a famous YouTuber. Exactly. But so they don't get all the behind the scenes stuff and all the work that you have to put into it and the transitions. So they just think it like happen. They just think that it like naturally happens and all these funny things happen to these people like on a day-to-day basis, and then they don't know why their lives are so boring. And I'm like, guys, they practice that. Like some of that's scripted, and it's like they do these. Oh, I'm like, it's like a job, guys.
I just wanted to do a shout out to Black and Silver Diamond. He says, howdy, y'all. How's it going?
How's it going?
And Kevin Canala says, hi, Miss Guzman.
Oh, hi, Kevin. Hello. Are you going to learn about YouTube? The guys will teach you, but we're going to talk about nerdy stuff, too.
Yeah.
And be good in school.
But, when I was working for Learning Tree, the class that I had, they were fortunate enough that, like, they all knew that I was in YouTube, so every day I'd get the same questions of like, how do you make money? How do you make videos? How do you do this and that? So I was glad that I could do that for them, mostly because it's something that's not really supported wildly. Like if I had a kid who told her mom that she wanted to be a YouTuber for like career day, and it was like, no, you can't do that because that's not a career. And it's kind of teaching them like, well, you want to tell them that you want to go into cinematography. And then, then do YouTube.
And then you can do YouTube.
Just tell them that you want to do cinematography and then learn about it. Because, I mean, that's what I did. I started with YouTube and then slowly moving into cinematography. But, you can learn anything from YouTube itself, too. So
I keep forgetting that you can learn things from YouTube because I didn't grow up with that. I'm not from this generation. So we had to, go get a book and read a book, or you had to try it a few times and mess things up and then you figured it out, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm still not used to that whole transition to.
YouTube's
I
largest
love it.
search engine.
I love it.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
But just like we've been saying for a long time, that YouTube is like the second used search
largest,
engine,
yeah.
second largest search engine. So
Yeah, this is the first year that I've had my students, because I have the gifted and talented students, so they have to do a year-long project. This is the first year they've asked me if they can cite YouTube as a source.
I mean, can you?
Yeah, we're going to let them. We're going to let them
Wow.
if we feel like that the YouTuber is credible, and we've done some research to see if it's, because there are actually some scientists and some other people in the fields that are actually doing YouTube videos to educate the people. So if it's a credible YouTube source, yeah, we're letting them use it.
So YouTube, but still not Wikipedia?
Right. Yeah.
well, because anybody can
No, I
update
get it.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is a good. We tell them Wikipedia is a good starting point. Like, you can kind of get some of your information, but you
General
wouldn't
info.
want that to be your source. You would get the general information and use that in your search engine to find a new source. So that's still a viable option because people can still change it. And I
love
know
when
they
you're,
vet
like,
it more.
Get to see two teachers talk to each other all the time. And you just get tuned out.
Sorry, I'm so
for
sorry.
it.
Go ahead, Vince. Go ahead.
The
Talk.
world of education is amazing. It really is.
No, it is.
Well,
You
no,
know-
let me rephrase that, because I'm not officially a teacher. I'm just like an after-school care specialist. But
You still learn
I
about.
love working with kids. Is what
Mhm.
it is. Just kids are interesting, and they're weird.
Yeah.
They're weird, and they surprise you all the time.
Carlos and I are going to be web famous and make lots of that YouTube money doing like these educational videos you
Oh, yeah.
watch. Yeah.
Which reminds me, we just released a new book talk.
Yeah, so that's something that I want to start doing. So you were talking about doing a new channel. It's not that we're going to do a new channel, but I definitely think that reading is a geeky thing. It still kind of has a bad rap. Of all the geeky things, reading is one of the ones that people are still like, oh my God, your head is in a book again. Yeah, I like it there because they're nicer in there than you are out here. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. But so I'm going to try to do a book talk a week. Well, I'm going to do like 3 or 4 at a time, and then we're going to release them once a week.
Oh,
But
I was
I would like to
so
do
you're
like
reading an entire book a week.
I can. Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's
usually read 3 or 4, but
I'm dyslexic, so
So it's
I
difficult.
can't use that as an excuse too much because it's like I've had it my whole life and I could have overcome it by now, but
right.
I don't like reading.
Yeah, see, and it's a thing. So I would like for people to like reading, and there are some books that I think, especially for my kids who are dyslexic, if I can get them to find something that they're interested in, they can overcome that.
Graphic
That fear
novels
of-
helped me a lot growing up
Yeah.
because it was a lot of like the pictures and then associated with the words and things like that. And then I eventually moved on. I think the first book, maybe the only book, if I'm being honest, I've ever finished was The City of Ember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard. I have that actually. It's in my stack of books that people want me to read.
Oh,
So
nice, there you
I'm
go.
going to
Yeah,
read that.
It's a good. It's a whole trilogy too, or what do you call it when there's 4 of them in a row? There's like a word for that, and I learned that recently. I didn't know there was a word from. I knew
I've
there
never
was a word
heard
for more
it.
than 3, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
I don't know,
Like
a
8 would be like-
quatrain or something.
a quadrilogy. Quadrilogy is, I think is what, or quadri. It doesn't matter.
It's something.
Point is, there's a word.
Yeah.
for it.
Well, Vincent also doesn't read. What is your saying about reading, Vincent?
What is what?
What is your saying about reading?
Oh, yeah, you can just see the movie in like 2 hours.
Yeah. He says, why would I read about when I could see the movie in 2 hours?
City of Embers, wasn't that like a movie?
Yes, it was, but
With Bill Murray?
being what?
No.
Being the only
No.
book that I ever finished, I can say
Yeah,
that
it was
I
a
was
movie.
legitimately
It was-
insulted by the movie.
Haha. See, as somebody who read a book, he knows that the movies are never as good.
I was
Never as good.
completely insulted by the movie.
Wait. What about Blade Runner?
I've never read Blade Runner.
Vince, I told you before we
Stuart,
started next.
what about Blade Runner? Have you read Blade Runner?
What about Blade Runner?
Have you read
Did
it?
you read the book?
No.
Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
No.
Oh my God! Speaking of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, that show. What was that on? Was that on Amazon or?
Oh yeah, it was on Amazon. It was the Philip K. Dick Electric Dreams, I believe it was.
Yeah, it's like a mini series. It's really cool, kind of like Twilight Zone-y, sci-fi mixture with like all these famous actors.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. If you have time, you should
is
check
like
it
a
out.
Black Mirror kind of thing, or
I don't know. I haven't seen Black Mirror.
have you seen Black Mirror?
Is
It's
that
like
good?
the
Is,
modern Twilight Zone.
really?
Yeah.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really good.
Write
I
it
think they're
down.
in their 2nd season, going on their 3rd. So
It's that it seems kind of like that, but the majority of it is based in the future.
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah. Black Mirror is kind of like in the not so distant future. So I guess that one you're talking about is like way up there.
Yeah, it's further out. Yeah.
Somebody's
his
saying
stuff
that
is
you
more
have a
tech.
nice. What's your girlfriend saying? You have a
Yes.
nice beard.
Yes.
Oh.
think it would
She's like, "Hey,
Thank
babe,
you.
nice beard."
You have a really cool logo on your shirt. What is that?
Oh, this old thing, this thing right here.
Oh my God, you look the lamest
just-
people ever.
Whip this up really quick. This is our official logo for SA YouTube Create, our group here in San Antonio that meets every Wednesday from 7 to 9 o'clock down at Geekdom on the 7th floor. Not that I'm paid to say this, but I'm really not. But yeah,
He's
it's,
really not. There's no money in YouTube.
it's
No,
our
I'm just
group.
kidding.
And we have a lot of us that are members of Geekdom now.
Yeah, we are.
So that's
it's
kinda
an
cool.
Amazing place, actually. There's more to it than what I know how to use, but I'm eager to learn. So we've got a lot of awesome resources there.
Yeah,
and
and
Joseph
I like
Barreto says, I agree, very sexy beard.
sexy beard. Carlos is the sexy man of the hour tonight.
I don't know who Joseph is.
I do. He's a friend of mine.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's a friend of mine.
Or awkward.
I was telling Vince this yesterday. How this man walked up to me at Geekdom the other day and he was like, "Carlos, how you doing? How you been?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, that's great." And he walked away and I turned to Eric and I was like, "Hey, I don't know who that was.
Who's that guy?
No idea." I found out a week later he was my cousin.
Oh, nice.
So,
Way to go. Good job.
Literally, my memory is not all there. So, but
Well, I really like what you guys are doing. I don't go because it's my one night to go do girly stuff. I go do girly things. I do all kinds of geeky things with Vincent all the time, and then once a week I go do girly things with my friends.
I guess
So
that
y'all
makes sense.
geek out, and he just tells me about it later.
No, I geek out.
Well, was it this last Wednesday we had a social meeting, and that's where we just go and then we're not really like learning anything. We're just kind of like talking and collaborating and like chit chatting about YouTube and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So we got 2 new members come in. My mic.
Mhm. I don't know if
No,
people
it's
can't
way
hear
down.
you, so yeah, I just
Can
wanted
you
you to
hear me?
fix that. You can hear him, okay? Okay.
So we got 2 new members come in and join, and one of them hasn't got his channel up. The other one has a very successful food channel.
Oh, cool.
Chef Johnny of Texas Style Cuisine, and that was really cool. He actually teaches over at St. Philip's College, and he's got like over 8,600 subscribers.
Oh, cool.
So, and he's like making money off of it. So I was like, that's awesome.
Oh,
So
that's great.
he's not too far from us in Lytle, but yeah, he works here in San Antonio, and
I just like
makes
that
some
y'all are
really
doing
good
that, and
looking
y'all are
food.
kind of like creating this community here in San Antonio and getting to know each other and getting these learning resources.
it was interesting
So-
how many San Antonio YouTubers there are. We still haven't met them all.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them out there, and that's why I think a place like this needs to exist. Because when I first started on YouTube, I couldn't find anybody for like months. I didn't even know that anyone else in San Antonio was doing YouTube, but there must be. We have a member, DJ. He was actually the first one I found, and I found him through YouTube itself, and then we just both happened to end up at the same group. So
Oh, cool.
found each other through that way later on. But it can be discouraging when you don't know for a fact that there's other people in your city doing that, because you hear a lot on YouTube like you need to collaborate. And
It's like,
there's-
who do I collaborate with?
Yeah. If you can't find anybody, then it's kind of discouraging. And there are some like wildly successful YouTubers here in San Antonio. You have like the Justin Bravo, Legit Looks for Life, and then of course Chef Johnny. Like those are big names, but like
Didn't even know they were from here, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you did know they were from here, the likelihood of you being able to collaborate with someone on that scale is very minimum. So.
Right.
And it's interesting because he's been trying to meet up with us for a very long time.
He did say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that's helped recently is this essayculture.com. I don't know if it's been going for a while, or if we all just recently saw it because they put the best of list. So
Yeah.
I think that was a good marketing ploy, because I don't know if anybody knew about them before this either.
I'd never heard of them.
I'd never
Mm-mm.
heard of them before. So then putting this best of and a lot of us getting nominated and being on there, and then we were going and looking for the other people who were nominated, because it was like, well, I know them, but he's like, well, wait, I don't know them. So then we go look them up, and it's just then even more people that you
Yeah.
can start adding. So I thought that was really good too.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we can make connections with some of those people. I took down the names, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we can reach out to them and get some of them in the group. And things like that because, like I said, they're out there. They're out there. I met this one guy on YouTube one time, just by accident. I found him, Matt Guardiola. He has my same last name, exact same last name. So I was like, hey man, that's crazy. Just subscribe to you because you got my last name. And he was like, hey man, that's crazy because we both live in San Antonio. So that was
wow, that's weird.
was a really freaky thing. So that was another example of like.
And it was his cousin.
It was his cousin. Yeah.
With my luck, he'll probably end up being that. But no, yeah, I didn't think Culture SA was a thing until this started and until some of us got nominated. So because I've never heard of it, I did a best of a few years ago when I was in a band for the San Antonio Current. But
yeah, I've seen them do that.
I thought it was them again, but yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so I think that's cool.
Yeah,
getting to meet it.
Culture.com, WEBCarlos, if you want to go over there and vote.
Geek out SA on SA.
Well, yeah,
Culture.com.
y'all for best blog, aren't you?
For best podcast and for best YouTube.
There you go, podcast.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, because we do talk show format, so a lot of people have told us that they put it on, like they put the YouTube on, but they're like working on something, so they listen to us more like as a podcast than necessarily watching us. Yeah. So I was
we
like,
don't actually do a podcast, but people
are
listen to
kind of
us like
using
a
it
podcast.
that way, yeah.
Not yet. We're working on it.
Yeah, we are working on doing it as a podcast because that has been something that's been requested. So we're like, oh, well, yeah, we could do that if you like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. It's always nice, like you feel like you're doing this and it's like an effort and futility sometimes, like I'm just doing this to hear myself talk because I love to hear myself. And then people will message you or something or see you out in public and be like, oh my God, you're those people. And you're like, what? You actually watch? Like, okay, yes.
Still to this day, I remember we were at what was it called? MizumiCon, yeah. At Our Lady of the Lake, and we had a booth set up there, and then we were just hanging out, and we're like doing some videos here and there, and a father and his daughter came, and oh yeah, my daughter and I watch you all the time. Never seen these people in my life.
Wow.
And,
yeah, because we just thought it was our friends watching, right? We were like, yeah, it's just our friends, right?
That's what you suspect from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then it just happens they catch it, and there's some of the ones that we just don't know who watch it, and there's some that we still have met recently, and like Black and Silver Diamond we recently met up with in his Fievel costume.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
That's neat.
We did that at a Game Expo.
Yeah.
We
meet a lot of people through cons. So we do a lot of the con stuff and go to a lot of the con scene. And we meet a lot of people that way. So
that makes sense. I need to get more into that. Like, I think this year was the first year that I actually started going to conventions again. Before this year, I hadn't been to a convention in like 3 or 4 years. Just because either I didn't have the money or I just didn't have people to go with or the drive to go or the reason to go. So I was just like...
Well, cons have been like getting on my nerves lately.
See, that's how I got a few years back with concerts. Now I can't go to concerts anymore because I just don't want to be around people. I love the music. I don't want to be around people.
The people agitate you, right? Yeah. You're like, why?
People don't agitate me for some weird reason. But like
con people are fun, but cons as a concept have gotten agitating to me because I feel like people are having to throw too much money in and not getting enough return out of it. So that kind of agitates me, I guess, especially in this city where I know how hard people have to work for some of the little bits of money that they get. So in my mind, I'm like, well, somebody had to work for 3 hours to get that, just to get that one thing. And so it kind of, that agitates me a little bit.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Because at first you have to pay, $80 to get in. And then you have to pay another $100 just to get the autograph that you want.
Yeah. Yeah, and these people, celebrities, they have so much money already. I just feel like, do you know what it's like for, you weren't always a celebrity, so at some point, your parents aren't celebrities, you have to know somewhat what it's like for the regular working class to live.
Yeah, but I guess I can also see it on the side of, to be devil's advocate, they don't want to be bombarded with, a million people trying to ask for the autograph if it's free, they don't want to take away from everything else that the con has to offer, because if I can meet Adam West, I'll wait in line all day to meet Adam West, and once I'm done, I'll leave. So I guess it's kind of that, if you're going to pay the little extra, it might be worth it to meet them and stuff like that. So I can see from them not wanting to be in a line of 1,000 people to sign autographs. But I mean, that's me.
But the problem is, you are in a line of 1,000 people to.
Even though you paid $120. Yeah.
Imagine how much longer that line would be if you didn't.
No, it wouldn't be because they usually max it out to the amount of time.
Yeah, you
that they're
just
there.
like the first 100 people that come, you know. So people might be camping out like old school, like Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Be like-
I haven't had one of those in a good while.
Yeah. Well, aren't you going to a con coming up soon?
Yeah.
We're actually going to a con tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So not that any of this down talk on con should discourage you from coming out and seeing us. Just throwing that out there.
It's not that kind of con. It's a
No.
library
Not
con.
that it's a library con.
So
yeah.
I like it.
Like books.
So I mean, there's a lot of things to like about different conventions.
Yeah, there
and,
is.
a lot of conventions have a lot of good things going on, like Game Expo.
Well, so what is this one at the library?
So this one is a pop culture convention. So you're gonna have like local artists there, local writers there, and you're gonna have panels. Which reminds me, we're going to have a panel at 12:15 tomorrow about how to be a YouTuber.
Which library is it going to be at?
A Central Library.
Oh, at the Central
Yeah,
Library.
we're going to be at the
The
Central
Red
Library.
Enchilada.
Yeah, Red Enchilada. So go check us out tomorrow. It's going to be from 10 to 4 p.m., but our panel is going to be from 12:15 to 1. So
Is there any fee to get
no,
in?
it's free.
Oh, really?
It's free.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I've been telling people I don't know. So now I'm glad to know it's free.
Yeah, it's free. It's free. I mean, you have to find parking, but other than that, it's free.
Oh, well, that's really great. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a really good thing about it. And yeah, no, I can't wait to go and check it out, and hopefully I can see you there, because we're gonna, if you want to learn how to become a YouTuber, you can go down to the Central Library tomorrow, and then you're gonna talk to like 5 different people. We have I'll be there. We have WEBCarlos,
there.
of course. We have Victor.
Victor
We
I love
have
Victor.
DJ and David.
David's the squirrel jerky guy?
Squirrel-
Yeah, Squirrel Jerky.
I like him too.
Pictures. So
So yeah, we'll all be there.
Yeah, that's a good group to learn from. So,
And we all kind of specialize in our own things. So
yeah.
I mean, you could fire away on anything that has to do with YouTube or cameras in general, and I guarantee someone will be able to
Someone
answer.
will be able to answer it. Yeah.
and I think that's some of the big stuff that y'all get too sometimes, right? Is people don't know like what kind of equipment, how much equipment do I need to get,
Yeah.
like that.
You usually get the general answer of like, oh, equipment doesn't matter, just do what you got. And I mean that is true, but like
Eventually,
sometimes I wished it was like, you know, that's great. You're being inspirational, but just give me an answer. So if I had to if I had to give someone an answer, it would be, you know, use your phone. Just use your phone, because equipment doesn't matter. So just use your phone.
yeah.
Just straightforward. And then, because I mean, I started with a small little point and shoot, moved up to a little bit more expensive version of that point and shoot, and then I bought a cheap $200 DSLR is where I'm at now. So you move up progressively, but it's a good way to kind of like test the waters and see like, am I gonna do YouTube? Am I gonna be consistent?
Yeah.
So don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
don't make
that's
any
the
big
thing is
purchases.
being consistent. Like I really wanted, we go back to the educational, that's another thing that I want to do my own channel and do some of this educational stuff. But I started it and I was getting a pretty decent following on them, but then I was doing college and I transitioned to a new job and I'm doing this and we're doing the convention and I stopped doing it. And as soon as you stop doing it, that's when you lose everybody,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
and then you've got to try to build that momentum over again. So I've had these ideas about educational videos that I want to do, but I'm just not doing them
Yeah.
because I know I'm still not in a place where I could like do one a week or something. So I've just been kind of letting it flatline, unfortunately.
I'm just
Because
fortunate to
I'm
have-
I'm almost at a spot where I may be doing vlogs
Oh yeah.
for myself,
Really?
just me.
For yourself. Like you're not gonna post them, or?
No, of just me.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you're just gonna, you know, put them on.
Yeah,
VHS
no,
and
I'm gonna put them on
consoles.
Geek Out SA
Yeah.
because some of the stuff I want to cover, I don't want it to necessarily be linked to Colleen.
So then you may need to start something else that's not Geek Out SA. See,
Yeah,
that's the
what
other
I'm saying.
thing is being.
I'm gonna start something else that's not Geek Out SA.
Oh, not even on our channel.
No, not
Okay.
even on our channel.
It's going to be
Is
called Vincent Talks to Alexa.
Yes, that would be awesome.
That would be his first video.
I legitimately don't understand y'all's hatred of Alexa. I love it. I mean, mine can't even do a lot, and I love it.
That's why we hate her.
Alexa, we love you.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
See, this is why I hate her.
Alexa,
She knows
we
nothing.
love you.
I'm flattered. Thank you.
She understands.
You're
No,
welcome.
She doesn't.
She has base emotions.
No, she
Basic
doesn't.
emotions.
No, she doesn't. I hate her so much. She does nothing.
Now
She's
she-
pointless.
She can turn off on and off lights now, as
Yeah.
of today.
Oh, since you bought new equipment,
Well, yeah.
Alexa, turn off the studio lights. See, she can't do anything.
Oh, no, that's
She
good.
did. Now you're in the dark. I'm gonna
Alexa,
start
turn
doing-
on the studio lights.
It makes absolutely no difference, so it doesn't really matter.
Alexa, turn on the studio lights.
Okay.
There we go.
I think you can see his face better now.
No,
Not on camera. It
no.
doesn't make a
It
difference.
makes absolutely no difference.
Well, I was
Alexa, you're
adjusting
useless.
the white balance when we were doing some of
Oh
our
yeah, when we were
ads,
doing the.
other stuff, and that may help the camera be a little better.
I don't know. I just like to be mean to Alexa. I think it's funny. She doesn't know. She's an inanimate object. It's not like she has feelings or something.
The person who recorded the voice for her had feelings.
No.
That's close enough for me.
They don't even know that I'm saying mean
We
things.
we maybe, well, we had a guest speaker at our YouTube meetup, and he's Philip Nelson from Nelco Media, a good friend of mine, and he's actually offering us a spot for us to host meetings and bring speakers in and stuff like that. So, I mean, just this alone has just opened so many doors for us. It's been amazing.
It's awesome, and seeing how much the group has grown from where it was is amazing on its own as well. So, and I mean, I can't even take credit for all that. I mean, I've had a great team up to this point, and it's like we've all grown together. So, but to have this like new opportunity to have a new base of operations, someplace where we can like work and grow even faster is even better, because I can only imagine what we're gonna accomplish at this point.
I can't wait to see y'all's commercial. When is the commercial gonna come out?
I have a quick semi mock-up of the commercial in my laptop, but as far as the official commercial, that's
A couple of weeks
to
out,
be
maybe?
announced. So, a couple of weeks, couple of months.
Yeah.
Really, whenever my computer decides to cooperate. So
We're gonna try that too. We're gonna do our. We had started a few weeks ago before the death of the computer, and we had some really good stuff, and then the computer died. So now we got to start all over again. But I like the commercial idea. I think it's cute and like gives people an idea
I
of.
don't know if we're going for cute.
Y'all aren't going for cute.
I don't know
No.
about cute. Professional. Maybe.
Professional.
It's very professional.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good.
So keep an eye out for that.
So this one is not gonna include the spots that we did. It's just we weren't able to get it converted right in time to be able to get it to go. But the official one, that's gonna include all the ones that we.
Yeah, it's gonna be the real one, because I don't know what's going on with those files, but they won't download properly. So
Oh,
I kind of
really?
just threw one together here in the last 24 hours, and it's still pretty good.
So he actually went in and pulled some video of our show
So
for
I-
it. So it was
nice
pretty
little
cool.
Screen capture of everybody's, and everyone gets a little 2-second bit here.
Oh,
and
that's
there.
nice. Yeah.
But you have to come out to the panel tomorrow to see the finished
Yeah,
product.
you can
You'll
check
see
it
the
out.
top.
It's gonna
Oh,
be
see,
awesome.
that's good.
So it'll be there. It'll be
I didn't
ready.
even know I was leading you to that. Good job.
Trying to full circle. So,
Yeah, we're getting pretty good at this.
So we have that going on. So if you don't have anything to do, or if you really want to do that, go down to PopCon and check us out.
I think it'll be great. And I think anytime that people in this city can go out into this city and see people that are from here being successful as artists, as writers, as YouTubers, because I don't think San Antonio always gets the recognition that it should. People assume that things happen in like Austin and Dallas and Houston. And I think that San Antonio gets forgotten a lot. Like we're just the fiesta town, which is great. We do fiesta. We can party like nobody's business. But we also have a lot of professionals here that do
Which
a lot
reminds
of work.
me, have you seen those Fiesta medals that have been kind of coming out because of the
Because it's the
tricentennial?
tricentennial. Because this is our 300th
Really
year.
cool.
I
So
haven't seen anything. I've never been. It's a sin to say this, I know, but I've never been big into Fiesta. just
What?
'cause- I don't. Okay.
Get
so-
out.
No.
No.
Well, because when I was younger, it was because I couldn't drink. And
Right,
then
right.
When I got old enough to drink, I discovered the joys of drinking in small groups or alone. So now to
at
go
home where you don't have to pay
yeah, where I don't have to stack
tons of
cups
money.
and
I think
stuff
it's
like that.
just
That's the
fun.
cool thing, stacking cups. That used to be the
I've never done
ultimate
it.
thing of
I've never done that either because I'm not a big drinker. Like I just like to go
Yeah.
to Fiesta just I don't know, to feel the vibe of the city and like to see all the different people and the big old hats that people make
I can
and
see that because
like
I like doing a First Friday every now and again, just because the city is beautiful with like culture and history and stuff like that, and that kind of goes back into what you were saying about how we don't get a lot of recognition for things, and that has a lot to do with it. Is we're an old city, you know,
Yeah.
we didn't really grow with the times like Austin or like Houston or any of them. We kind of just like stayed where we were, but like I love it because of that, because we're an old city, because it's like a cultural town. I love it.
right.
So
Yeah, we totally embrace that. And everybody's really embracing the tricentennial this year, so it being our 300th year. So some of the Fiesta medals because of it, like the one for Nyosa actually spins and does all kinds of crazy stuff, so it's
That's
pretty cool.
I don't think I have a Fiesta medal. I don't think I've ever gotten a Fiesta medal.
So there was some really cool ones last year. We went and donated because Diego Bernal, who's one of our representatives, he loves Star Wars. He's a super geek. So he did it. If you went and donated food to he was out like in a parking lot. I don't even remember, at some mall. So we would go and take the food, and if you donated food, you got a free Fiesta medal from him that was like Star Wars themed. So that was really cool.
That's pretty
Then Rafael, he did like the whole Star Wars theme. He had the 501st walk him out in the parade and everything.
that was
So
kinda
he
cool.
did a Star Wars theme
pretty
medal,
cool.
and we actually happened to accidentally see him when we were at Coronation, and he gave us free medals. So it was kind
Yeah,
of like,
neat.
it was cool. Last year was cool. So that kind of stuff is like kind of
See,
fun
I thought
and
you
cool
always had to,
too.
like, buy medals. I didn't know there was like free medals.
No,
That was
yeah.
my understanding,
Well-
that it's only
well,
for
the
first-
Like
Diego
Dia was
Bernal-
giving out free ones last year.
yeah, the Diego Bernal, you just donate food
Yeah.
to the food bank, and then you get one for that. But there's other ones out there that they like Fox News gives out free ones and stuff like that.
You just have to like go to the events and happen to see them there, or find out that they're going to be there or whatever. With Rafael, we just happened to see him. But for some of the other ones, they advertise, hey, we're going to be here for a short amount of time. We're giving out medals. And so you can go pick up some free
Maybe
ones.
this is my year. Maybe I'll try Fiesta.
Well,
now
maybe
that-
we'll drag you out and we can all like tape it and stuff and see like.
the channel's growing, so I could use some different content on there. And
I
it
think people
be
would
like
probably love to
my
see
first
Fiesta. Yeah,
Oh, sure. I mean, I've done Oyster, because Oyster Bake is part of Fiesta, no?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oyster Bake was probably the closest thing I've ever done to it, and it's just the crowd. That's all.
The
I
crowd's
get, I get
crazy
anxiety
intense, yeah.
real quick, and it's not even just like social anxiety. It's just more like I don't like to be touched.
It is hard. No,
Stop
it is.
spilling stuff on me.
You don't want to be you don't want to be at Fiesta.
You don't want to be at Fiesta. No,
I don't like- I
Nyosa
don't
is
like to
really
sweat, I don't
hard.
like to be touched.
Nyosa is really hard
Black
for
and
me.
Silver
I have to take
Diamonds
it back
says
sometimes.
Geek Out SA needs a Fiesta medal.
Yeah, well, we will eventually. We have talked about it
Yeah,
a couple of
we've
times.
talked about it before,
So
yeah.
we will eventually.
Another thing we're working on.
Okay. Y'all can color plastic bottles with Sharpie and bake them in the oven.
Yep.
Have you seen those? How they
Yes.
make little- Yeah,
Uh-uh.
they make like little keychains like that. They cut out pieces of plastic. They color it, not for Fiesta medals, but they color it, and if you bake it in the oven, it turns into like a neat little keychain if you do it right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it
So,
shrinks
yeah.
down and
Sure,
hardens a little bit. Yeah.
Shrinkadinks or whatever.
Pretty much.
It'll be like the new Legos with the biodegradable plastic. We'll just start repurposing all the plastic and like be more friendly to the environment, and we'll be known as those kind of geeks too. We'll be tree hugging geeks.
Jayberg
and-
Video says it'll be a good vlog footage.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
people would really like to see
Yeah.
Fiesta and Carlos freak out at Fiesta. Let's watch
Yeah, that-
Carlos freak out at Fiesta.
fun.
No.
As long as it doesn't happen where because usually I'll go out and I'll do something, and the second that like I get a little upset or that I just like lose my mood, I'll just stop recording. So I have to take someone who can just hold the camera and record me even when I say not to, because that's when you're gonna capture what I'm really liking crowds. Otherwise, you're
That'll
just
be
gonna
good.
see the happy, just like, hey, out here at Fiesta, this is the last time you're gonna see it though, because I'm turning off the camera, kind of thing.
Well, maybe if we bring your girlfriend and then she gets you to stack enough cups, you'll be loose enough that it'll all be fun the whole night.
She hates people too.
Oh, she hates people too.
That's why we're so well together.
Well, we need somebody to
They're
drag you
two
both out.
introverts.
Yeah.
Yeah. we like to sit back and laugh at other people have a good time.
See, it's the introverts that are making YouTube popular because y'all don't want to go anywhere, so you just want to watch other people go
It
places.
technically is though. I mean, a lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of the most successful YouTubers are like hardcore introverts, because like if you put them in a social situation and they're just like, I don't know what to do with myself, because like you spend all day talking to your camera and then you put yourself in front of a real human being and it's like, whoa.
I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
You're like, there's
So-
people in here and they're looking at
Mhm.
me and they want me to talk and stuff.
Exactly. Well, that's how I kind of feel about tomorrow. Like, I don't know who's gonna be out there or who wants to hear me talk, but to be in front of people after a while, it's like it's been a long time since I've stood in front of a crowd without an instrument.
Well, just imagine that you have an instrument. You're like,
Well, hopefully we'll just be sitting there, and then people will just be out there. Just picture them naked.
no, that's weird. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ever do
I
that.
don't know what you take me for, Vince. I'm not that kind of man.
I think it's easy when you do the panel if you're, as long as you're not by yourself, because then you just play off the other people and
Yeah.
you can kind of listen. And then if you've known each other for a while, then somebody can just kind of throw you a question if they know you're kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like the last time I saw Vince and Hopeful Survivor did kind of a how to be a YouTuber thing for me for Northside. Northside librarians did a convention at Stevens High School, and so he like kind of knows Hopeful Survivor enough that he was able to like throw him some questions like, hey, I know you do this on your channel, why don't you talk about this thing? And you know, when somebody volleys that to you, it's a little
Yeah.
easier to kind of like pick it up and go with it.
That's true. I mean,
Mhm.
that's the scariest thing for me is just losing momentum. So, but as long as there's consistent questions or something, I'm good.
Right.
I can talk all day.
Yeah, and don't worry, it'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good, especially when they come and ask us questions from the floor.
I'm excited.
That's gonna be cool because I've always gotten really cool questions, and I haven't done this one as much as I have done gaming panels, where they ask me about the gaming, but not so. I've done it once with there at
At the North Side?
At the North Side.
Well, and you did it at the library. It wasn't necessarily like a panel, but it was people got to come and sit and
Yeah.
do one-on-ones with you.
The human book,
The human book.
human library book thing.
Yeah. It was at the I don't forgot what library it was that you did that.
The one at the Mission Drive-In, or
Yes.
that used to be
It
the
used to
Mission
be the
Drive-In.
Mission Drive-In. Yeah. That was nice because then they had different people there again. Almost, it was kind of con-like, but not exactly. And they got to tell their story, and then people got to go sit with them and
That's
you know,
neat.
kind of hear their.
So
life
a bunch of people like came to check me out as a book, and talk to me. So they're like, "Hey, what are you doing for PopCon? Do you want to do something for us?" So I was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm part of this group. I have some other guys that can come over here and you know, talk about how to be a YouTuber."
But like Carlos said, because so many people are still discouraging kids to do it, I think it's great that y'all do it because then it's a positive light that kids can see you
Yeah.
saying.
The real cool thing is, and I was talking to Chef Johnny Wednesday night. He was like, "Yeah, I'm like telling my that he's telling his daughter, yeah, start a YouTube, do it, you'll do great, and you could make a lot of money
Yeah.
doing it because she does cooking too as well." So
And sometimes it's not even really about the money. It's more of like, for me, it was a creative outlet, and it was like my first creative outlet that like meant something to me. So
Mhm.
it's kind of weird when like, for people who don't really have a talent to suddenly pick up video editing, because it can be so simple once you start, you know, learning little by little by little, that it's very encouraging to you. So and
Yeah.
I think what's going to be great about this panel too is the fact that I've only been doing YouTube for almost 3 years now,
Mhm.
over 2 years, and it's like I love it and I know so much about it now. So it doesn't
Yeah.
take like 10 to 20 years as it would like any other profession to kind of get it down. You know, for drawing, you got to be drawing your whole life or drawing every day consistently for like a whole year or something like that for you to become like a great artist and be recognized and stuff like that. This can be picked up very quickly. And can
But
pick
you
up
still
very
got to
quickly.
devote time to it.
Oh no, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, there's.
I mean, if you want to
you
do
gotta
some
set
good,
it aside and really.
and I've really seen all of the people that are in the group, how their stuff has changed since we've been part of the group, and the stuff has gotten better.
Oh yeah.
So and that's really good just for the collaboration of just being there and talking through things and talking about different equipment and whatnot.
And it's so much better than watching like a tutorial, because in this case, I can watch a tutorial about editing all day, but if I have a question, I gotta leave the comment and hope they see it and hope they reply. This is a very like, I have a question, I ask, and it's right back at me already. It's, I
Mhm.
mean, I teach things and I learn things all the time from everybody, and I think that's the best part. Is like you said earlier, you were trying some of my transitions, and you know, I've tried stuff from other people's videos, and people have tried stuff from my videos, and we see each
Mhm.
other in person, and it's like, we get that connection, we get that information, and it just improves upon improvements.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing, and I think the group does a lot of good for people.
I'm digging that. I'm digging that.
So, Carlos, you said that you were gonna do something new with your channel. What are you
Yes.
planning on doing?
So I'm going to be starting another channel called Main Objective. It's basically going to be LARPing. But like when you think of LARPing, like what's the first thing that comes to your head if I were just to be like, I'm going to go LARP? Like, what's your idea?
Foam swords and beating the crud out of people?
Okay, see, that's more what I want. For most people, it's more of just like, oh, you're going to firebolt.
Oh, well, you forget that I'm a seasoned geek. So,
Okay,
yeah.
so that makes sense.
Yeah,
But-
and a gamer. So for me, LARPing is like I've seen so much
know
different
what it
kinds of LARPing. Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to make LARPing more appealing to a broader audience by taking away the magic. So it wouldn't really be LARPing, but taking away the magic and making it more combat based. So, still shields and swords.
Mhm.
And when you get into it, you start to realize that there's a lot of different fighting styles and techniques. Like if you know how to fight with a real sword, that's great. But there's a whole other thing to learn once you get on that field to fight with foam swords, because obviously it's a little different.
Right.
So combat-based mini games such as Capture the Flag, Jugger, things like that you can really just sit down, watch, and once an episode, it's just a quick battle between two different teams. So right now I'm in the process of gathering a few teams for this mock season, basically, and recording them all in one day. So hopefully next month, after I've released a few episodes, I can get more teams and more people to want to participate.
Are you going to do any type of like themed type stuff, like as far as like Renaissance style, like costuming and stuff, or World War II costuming? Or are you going to do any of that kind of stuff,
I
or
haven't
it's just
really
going to
planned on
be?
I kind of wanted to like streamline it a bit, so I might go a little bit with like just a little bit of the garb, but not too crazy to where it looks medieval or it looks anything like that. So I want like modern medieval garb kind of. That way, it's if anyone tunes in, they don't see a bunch of people in leather armor and stuff. They're like, oh, this isn't for me. They tune in, they see these guys dressed in something interesting and fighting each other. So it's a little more like, yeah, I could probably get into this. So you take away some of the geeky aspect, but you keep it and you add a little bit. You add things that are a little more appealing to everybody else. So just that's.
Are you going to do some maker videos on like how to make the weapons and stuff like that? Do you think?
Eventually, absolutely. So
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I don't even know how to make the weapons. I have
If you-
amazing people at my park that are willing to go out of their way and make these weapons for me and teach me these things. So right now I'm learning it all from them. And
It
then,
depends on what groups you LARP with. Like certain groups have rules and regulations of what you
Yeah.
can and
Yeah.
cannot do, and sizes and what you can have. Like you don't want to have like
Amp Guard
a
has something different from.
yeah.
from DAG.
Like you
Yeah.
don't want to have like PVC pipe inside of like
Well, at Amp
pool noodle.
it's more of a
Been there, done that.
it's more of a like they have their rules and regulations, but everyone has their own style of building. So when I first started Amp Guard, everyone was building they were building their swords out of golf rods. Like you take the golf rod, you saw the head off, and you put the foam on, and you'd fight with it. It was a heavy weapon. And then everyone kind of moved to PVC, and now everyone's moving to what's called kites bar. So it's the bars that go in kites, basically. And it's a thinner thing, or they'll use like a fiberglass thing, and it's like the lightest, more up-to-date weapon right now. And it's like it's interesting to see how weaponry is evolving in the game, because
that's cool.
there's always someone who figures out something new. But
That's cool.
yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
awesome.
Well,
So if I
we-
have to recommend anything, it'd be Amp Guard here in San Antonio at Almost Park.
We've written a role playing game that's spy based. So we always wanted to do a LARP that was spy based, like Nerf gun type.
We
like,
started
kind of
it,
thing.
and then
Yeah, we started it with a writer who does LARPing stuff, and we all got busy.
That should come out on Sundays to Almost Park. I mean, they're getting more into battle games. There's more role playing now than there used to be, and it's a lot of fun.
awesome.
sounds
We'll
cool.
definitely check that out. So tomorrow, definitely check us out at Pop Con. I'll be there. I don't know if Colleen is kind of out of it, so I don't
know,
think
yeah, I
I don't
hurt
think she's
myself,
out
so
of
I
it.
don't know.
And we don't even know how she hurt herself. So interesting, weird pains that happen for no reason. So I'll be there. Carlos will be there, and then we'll have some more of us from San Antonio YouTube Create at PopCon at 12:15 in the Latino Resource Center. So and that's just past the computers on the first floor. So definitely check us. They're also doing a Google Fiber demonstration in that same area. So
Oh, cool.
go ahead and check that out. But thanks for checking us out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Stuart, and this is WebCarlos.
Geek out, SA.